There is a strong, palpable tension in the world right now. Not only are we feeling it energetically, but we're feeling it financially, emotionally, psychologically. It's affecting us pretty much in every way imaginable. And when we start to feel that pressure and tension, we all have a tendency to look externally. And we're looking for reassurance and stability and encouragement. And right now, we're just not getting that. Bravery is something that is self sourced, it is not something that is consumed from external places. And when we're looking externally for that bravery to reassure us, to allow us to move forward in our lives, we're denying ourselves of the resources that we actually have inside. Monty and I have been having a couple channeling sessions recently where this idea of a tinge of hopelessness has come up. We know deep inside that not everything is hopeless, and we can tap into that energy when we want to. But when we start to look externally for that reassurance and stability and we don't find it, we lean into that hopelessness. And so it's always there coloring our energy and coloring our perspectives. We can see a different future. We can feel that energy of the world that we want to live in and how different things could be. But by looking externally, it reinforces to us that hopelessness, that things that cannot change, that feeling like on an individual level, there is nothing enough that we could do to create the world that we really truly want to live in. We cannot then understand how to get there or how that future is even possible. And it's because we're looking outside of us for what is possible, for proof, for reassurance, for stability, that when these things create that tension and are chaotic for us, it's that reinforcing loop. Look outside for reassurance, see that everything is chaotic and that we're not receiving that reassurance and bravery that we need, that reinforces that hopelessness that we feel inside. But that is not the actual truth. And that is what Monty wants to share with you again today. Today, I'm resharing some guidance from Monty that's from a previous episode on our podcast to help you really understand where bravery comes from, to reinforce this idea. Because right now, we are facing a lot of this tension, a lot of this chaos. And the more that we look outside for reassurance, for stability, for security, for the path forward, the more hopeless we feel. And instead, what Monty offers is a different solution. Look inside, tap into that soul energy to find that bravery within. And once we have that bravery, once we've tuned into that energy, we can find that path ahead. We can see what opportunities are possible for us, even if externally it looks like it's not possible. And Monty and I also encourage you to sign up for Soul Brave, which continues the guidance that you'll receive today. It is a free channeled mini course because we have so much at stake right now as a collective. We have to become self-sourced. We have to step into our bravery because if we are constantly looking towards the external, it is going to continue to create that feeling of hopelessness that you have that is not the truth. The more that we can step into our self-sourced energy, the more that we can find that bravery within, we can create this world that we want to live in. We can find the path forward. But that is our collective and individual responsibility. So that's why we're replaying this episode of guidance today and encouraging you to join us inside of Soul Brave, because we all have this responsibility. And it starts inside. So let's hear from Monty. Bravery is one of the most important energies that you can bring forward from your soul to help you manifest what it is that you want into creation. So the most important thing for you to understand is that bravery is something that you create from within, rather than something that you can consume from an external source. Bravery is something that is always self-resourced rather than externally resourced. When it comes to bravery, tuning into your soul allows you to feel the energy of bravery because your soul sees everything as an opportunity for growth. The perspective of your soul is that bravery is something that is innate, something that is a given, rather than something that needs to be manifested and created from within yourself so that way you can power through things. But rather allowing yourself to relax into your soul, you will find that you are actually quite brave. As we have been sharing within our membership community, we have been instructing all of our participants to allow themselves to come into the fullness of the bravery within their souls. What this perspective truly allows you to inhabit is the energy of your soul's perspective, seeing the obstacles and challenges of your life as an opportunity. The struggle that you may find is that this bravery only comes up when you feel as though it is something that you are ready to take action on, that you see the obstacle or challenge as something that you need to conquer, and so you access the bravery within your soul. However, your bravery is not only of use to you in these situations, it is also of use to you in the situations where you feel as though it is not a challenge, it is just something that you don't even understand, that you need to go around it or go through it to be able to get to where you want to go. In many ways, when you are looking out at the world and saying, I wish to have this sort of life where I can be this kind of person, what is not required is that you change the conditions, but allow those conditions to be a point of growth for yourself. But as you are looking at the conditions that you are in, you may see some of them are perfectly fine and acceptable. But what it truly is that you are not interfacing with them at all. They are something to the side that seems unimportant, that you don't engage with because it is not an obvious challenge, nor it is something that is obviously advantageous. However, your soul sees these things too as useful opportunities. Because even though these are energies that you typically do not engage with, they are seen as opportunities for your soul to arise to the situation, to take in the energy from an external situation, to transform it and transmute it into a different format that allows you to come more fully into your state of being. Now, what is important to understand is that bravery is this essence of saying, I can weather any energy. I can take in any energy and I can make it useful for me. I can do something with that energy. Whatever challenge or obstacle I see, it is something rather that is an opportunity for me to move forward in my life, to move forward in my growth, and to come more into alignment with who I am, to be more of who I truly am. Now, if you truly wish to fully cultivate bravery in your life, you may say, well, I have certain obstacles and challenges to overcome. But what bravery truly is looking at all of the different energies that you are exposed to on a daily basis and allowing yourself to use each and every one of them. Allowing yourself to say that there are things that I see as obstacles, there are things that I see as advantageous, and there are things that are just in my periphery I don't even pay attention to. But bravery is also opening up to everything that is available to you, of using all of the different resources, trusting that you are able to do that in that moment. Now, of course, we would say that this is a skill that you develop over time. And so we have been instructing in our membership community for you to focus specifically on challenges. As challenges, as we have said before, are opportunities for an energetic change. It is truly a calling for you to change the energy that you are creating within yourself, to be able to bring that challenge energy in, to transmute it into something that you find more advantageous in its format. Now, when it comes to working with specific challenges, the most important thing as you are moving forward with these different exercises is for you to pick something that you feel as though, yes, bravery seems like a good solution to this one. This is something that my logical mind says, yes, This is something that we should do, and yet there is this fear internally inside. But as you come through those different situations, and you are suddenly much more in tune with that perspective of your soul of saying, these are all opportunities. What it means to be truly brave is to open up your vessel even more, to open it up to all of the different energies that are available to you and say, I am brave enough to be a master of the energies, and I am going to use it intentionally in the way of allowing myself to take in these energies so I can transmute them. That is what true bravery really lies in. It is not saying I need to be braver to overcome certain obstacles or to face rejection or to do certain things that you find difficult. Yes, bravery is that, but those are small formats of bravery. Whereas to be truly brave in who you are is to understand that you know who you are, regardless of the situation, regardless of the energy that is coming towards you, and that you are always in control of how you work with energies, not of the format that it comes in with or the format that it leaves with, but rather with how you work with that energy while it is in your system, when it is in your perspective, when it is in your life. So we hope that you take this information forward as you're moving through these exercises and understand a bit more about the true goal that we have for your bravery, the true goal that your soul has for you as well, as this is innate within you. We send you great love. That is all. The true goal of bravery that Monty talks about is not that we're brave enough to take action. It's that we're brave enough to be a different version of ourselves, to change our state of being, to allow ourselves to come into that self-sourced energy, to come into our soul expressions. And it's a subtle change in our behavior that's really not about changing our external circumstances. Your individual bravery right now is not going to change the geopolitical climate. It's not going to get rid of that tension that's external and that pressure. I want to be honest with you about that. It's not going to manifest your dream life instantaneously in a world where collectively we are experiencing a lot of change. But it allows us to reframe that instead of falling into that hopelessness, instead of saying, I can see a future, but I don't know how we get there and I don't think it's possible, that bravery instead instills in us that subtle behavioral shift. We become less reactive. We become less externally focused in that way of saying, all I see externally is things that tell me no, that tell me it's not available to us individually or on a collective level. Recently, a student wrote to us to share their progress within Soul Brave, which is our free mini course that's channeled to help you step into that self-sourced bravery. And he shared that he normally thinks of himself as a very tough guy. We have this idea that often what it means to be brave means we're tough, we can tolerate a lot. But that's not what soul bravery means. It allows us instead to tune back into our real intentions, our real goals, our real energy, and become, as a result, less reactive. That we identify patterns, just as what this student shared, that then allow us to change our behaviors to be more in alignment with that self-sourced energy, that self-sourced bravery. By identifying the patterns, he said, it helped him identify the emotions that would come up with those patterns to then alter those patterns and emotions right at their root. And it's changed so much that even his wife commented on how this has really changed how he's behaving in the world and how he's showing up on an individual level. And when we start to show up differently on an individual level, that contributes something differently to the collective, that allows our individual energy to be received better and more accurately by others, which then allows us to seek out more opportunities to actually collectively create that change that we're really seeking, that more just and equitable world that we want to live in. Soul Brave is a free 5-week mini course with one channeled message per week and a meditation to help you integrate Monty's teachings. You can find the link in the show notes below. We hope that you join us there and let us know what you're facing right now and how the collective can support you and hold you in that energy in the comments. And if you like this episode, please subscribe for more guidance from me and Monty. We'll see you soon.